today we'll be, I think, starting our journey into Ring 3. As you noticed, the aspect ratio of the stream is a little bit different. Unfortunately, my monitor is in 16:10x aspect ratio, but I'm now recording this in 1080p for YouTube reasons. So I tried archiving my streams to YouTube. Unfortunately, did not work because the resolution was too low. Well, it did work, but the highest resolution was 360p or 480p. It made the text unreadable. So from now on, I'm going to try and have all my streams in 1080p, which means that they're going to be black bars on the side, or unless I can figure out some sort of HUD or something to fill the blank space. But yeah, so I hope to actually put this starting from now on, put all of my videos on YouTube for archiving. So let's get started. So what I had, what I've been working on is fixing up some windowing and stuff like that. So we go to I was working on refactoring the console into its own application. So we go here, we run the program, the operating system. So yeah, that took a while because it was compiled and released. So this is the operating system right now. It's just a launcher with a blank screen. I hope to make it a little bit nicer to look at, but the console has been renamed to System Log, and so here it says welcome to Gray OS and the screen resolution and then total bytes. And then I also added system status. And in here, I actually also added a memory monitor here. It's in megabytes, so you won't see byte usage, this number increase right now because there's not enough stuff to make it increase. Because most of the data that is worked with here is global data or in BSS, not actually allocated on the heap. Even if we start our Bitcoin miner, this RAM use doesn't go up because it's already pre-allocated anyway. But it's cool to see that our we have 9 megabytes used. So if I hit the command key. Actually, in Mac, it doesn't recognize the. Oh wow! I think my system's slow to a crawl here. Oh wow! All right, let me get out of this. I think my OS slow to a crawl because of probably the streaming. But as you can see, when I hit Command, it actually shows a bad scan code. So that'd be something to look at in the future. Hey Hannah. So long mode is 64-bit mode. Actually, that's not 100% accurate. Their long mode encompasses 2 different sub modes, and one of those modes is 64-bit mode, and then there's compatibility mode, which is also technically under long mode. But long mode typically is a mode of Intel or AMD processors, of AMD 64 architecture, where you can run 64-bit code. Technically, when I say long mode here, I really mean 64-bit mode, which is a sub mode of long mode. Yeah, these processors have like several different modes for compatibility purposes, and I mean when it boots up in 8086 mode. It boots up in 16-bit mode, which is crazy. But that's how an Intel AMD 64 works. But yeah, so today we are going to start our journey to Ring 3 by starting to write some applications, or rather, quote unquote, porting an application that I already wrote, which is Calculator. So what I'm going to do is actually start a separate Zig project for Calculator, and have that compile into its own binary, and then I'm going to load that binary into memory and start at Ring 3. This will take several streams. This is not a quick thing to do, but that is the goal. So the first thing that I want to look at here is kind of take note of the dependencies that we have here. Like where do we use print? Do we use print? We use print to buffer places. We use what do we use? Kernel.quit application, and then we use GUI to draw everything. Now, when I'm porting this over, I don't have anything written to support system calls yet. So this is going to be kind of like a messy thing. There's going to be multiple components edited at once. Like GUI is not set. The GUI, I guess, quote unquote, framework, which is an immediate mode GUI framework, does not have a concept of kernel space versus user space, and so that's also part of what I'm doing here. So, yeah, and obviously, I'm calling out the kernel. Like here, this is a system call pretty much, this will be a system call. And so this will be a system. So what would be good to know is like kind of know what things will be system calls and what things won't be system calls. Like the windowing system. So one of the things I need to decide is where to put the windowing system, right? Like I am thinking just like as an idea, put a like kind of similar to Win32. Like if we go here and go to like Win32 system call list, right? And then we go to, this might be it. Is this it? Not NT, it's something else. I think it's like WinSys32 or something like that. Let's see here. 64. Yeah, Win32K, that's what it's called. Yeah, this this is it. And if we look here, there is a system call called create window, or rather create window X, which is create window. So I'm thinking of kind of modeling it kind of after this. Now, one of the questions is like, so how do I draw widgets? Like, so if we look here, the way that the way an IAM GUI framework works kind of can't have like one naive approach of doing this is having all these things be system calls, like begin windows system call, button is a system call, label is a system call, which is insane. You would never want to do that. As far as I know, anyway. Maybe it would be an interesting experiment. Maybe. Yeah. What you call it? Yeah. So. Yeah, minimal syscall. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to have all these as syscalls. That's kind of bad. Unless, what I was trying to look for actually was the latency of the syscall instruction. And I couldn't find that, actually. I'd imagine it's pretty slow. Especially, with a syscall, you need to push everything into the stack, and it's not an easy it's not a fast process. So, though honestly, it could be an interesting experiment. Like, make these all syscalls, and then kind of profile how slow that is, and then change them back. Because maybe that would make things easier in the short run, but I don't know if I'll be creating problems for myself. I don't know. But the other idea is having the GUI stuff all in user space. And what my idea is basically the framework itself is in user space, and then there'll be a lazy instantiation for begin call for begin window. So if this window doesn't exist, then it's going to do a syscall to create a window, and then basically the syscall will probably hand us back a frame buffer, and then we can use all this stuff to write into that frame buffer. Right? And that frame buffer will be memory mapped into the process space. Right? But yeah, I can always fork. Yeah, I can always fork as a project. Have another branch or something like that. But yeah, so the first thing that's one consideration, right? Just like kind of figuring out which things are syscalls. Because also I need to have some sort of way. Right here, there's like end window, but I may want to add like a call here saying, okay, we're done. But much like basically like lock this until like basically write into the frame buffer, and then only publish the frame buffer once this program is done writing into it. That's one idea, and that's probably what you want. You don't want a partially written frame buffers to be displayed. So yeah, it would be like GUI.draw or something like that. This would be a syscall. Like so again, like this begin window will only be a syscall on the first call, and then unless it's closed. If it's closed, then there will be like a destroy window. I'd imagine there's a destroy window here. destroy. Create window. Is there a destroy window? Yeah, destroy window. So yeah. So that's the first idea. And then like this is pretty easy. Like this is a pretty standard system call by application. The launcher. So another thing is that the launcher will probably need to be in user space as well. And so there is a kernel application called. There is a function here called launch application. And that will be a system call. And as we go on, we'll start adding protections and whatnot, permissions and stuff like that. So, but without too much more talking, let's kind of get started here. So the first thing is, where do we want to put, the repo, right? So, right, so we can put stuff in apps. So right now the apps are just Zig. Actually, let me remove this OS symlink because it's not. That doesn't work. So I'm thinking what I need to do is make dir calculator, and then this will be this will be the app for calculator. So let's do which Zig? Yeah, that's not right. So we want to use the third party. Third party Mac bin Zig, and what I want to do is init exe. Alright, Zig build, run. Great. Okay, cool. So, so that is our calculator application. That's the end of it. Not really. Okay. So the next step here is, maybe we should bring up a new window. CD into dev stuff, OS proj, and then apps calculator. And then let's take a look. So we want build.zig, and then let's go into source main.zig. Right. So right now this is compiled as a get started standard target option. So it's compiled into a standard Mach-O file for Mac. And so what we need to do, so the other consideration is like, what is the binary format? Like that's a huge, decision. And so I've been looking at ELF versus PE32 plus, and I do want to explore PE30. I haven't looked too much into them, but I think for simplicity reasons, Zig defaults to ELF. If you don't specify if you specify a freestanding OS, which is what this is. And so I don't want to try and fight things right now. I just want to get this up as quickly as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to compile as freestanding into an elf executable, and then use objdump or objcopy. I always forget. I think it's objcopy to copy it, to essentially convert it into a flat binary. And this is what I do actually for the kernel itself today. I compile it into an elf file, then use objcopy to dump it into a flat binary. So I use like an older version. I use a Zig 0.8, but it's like an older version. It's like months old. I think it's a couple months old. And the reason I don't keep things up to date is because I put Zig in the repo, which I'm kind of beginning to regret because of how often I have to update it. So right now I'm using a couple months old. I'll probably upgrade again soon. I mean, definitely whenever 0.8.0 is officially released. But yeah. But I think I'm at a reasonable point where there hasn't been too many changes. But I mean, the standard library is always changing. But I don't think there's any new features or anything added into Zig since then. So yeah. All right. So I'm actually not too familiar with the Zig build standard library, so I should probably look into the builder struct. Zig, our standard, lib, Zig, standard, and then build. Let's build it. It's just build.zig. Okay. So what do we have here? We have standard target options. It just uses the native builder. So standard target options args. So let's look at that. Oh, okay. So whitelist, default target. So what does this do? Selected target equals cross target dot parse. So where's the triple set? Oh, wow. I can't read. This is the triple. So self option target, and then okay, args dot default target. Okay, so we want to set this default target to some cross target. that is freestanding. So let's see. So let's take a look at cross target. Okay. So it is cross target build cross target. Oh, it's in Zig cross target. Okay. All right. So the OS. So we want to set the OS. So we want the CPU to be native. That's AMD 64. That's fine. Though if I ever upgrade to an M1 MacBook, it wouldn't be native anymore. And then OS version is actually, so what is this target? Then there's standard target. That might look a little bit better. Target.zig. Oh. Okay. Okay. This is probably what I want. So, alright. So I need to find like a valid triple, I guess, like a default triple. I want like freestanding. So okay, ABI. All right, so we create a target. OS is all the is this. Oh, I guess this was closed. Yeah, so maybe I feel that the last time no. Wait. Oh, March 27th. When was this closed? Oh, December 30th. I think this was closed by the time I have this version, so it's probably. But actually, it looks like unless they forgot to update this comment, it's possible. So we need to somehow construct a target. Can we construct a target? Like, so if we look for a function that returns a target, that would be nice. So I don't get lost in the weeds. All right, standard target options, and then standard. I just like went down a rabbit hole here. Standard target options is a struct that has a default target, which is of type cross target. Now, does anything return a cross target? No. Good part. Yeah, the linking failed goods. How much RAM do you have in your machine? Because yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense because it's linking all of LLVM into it. So I mean, if you have a small amount of RAM, or I don't know how much. I've been able to compile on 16 gigabyte machines, but I don't know. I mean, LLVM is like is a monster, so it's a toaster. Okay, so yeah, but it is insane. LLVM is an insane library, but it's kind of understandable insofar as, you know, it supports so many different targets that makes sense, and Zig wants to support as many targets as LLVM, so makes sense. So what I'm trying to do right now is figure out how to specify a target. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. So there is selected. So selected target is based on cross target, and so cross target would be found here. And so I need to populate a cross target. Cross target is defined here, right? And honestly, this would probably be so much easier if I just like looked up like example Zig projects. Let me do that instead of trying to crawl through this. Ziglang. There are examples here. Test. I don't think so. Because like the documentation is not really there yet, so I don't think. Yeah, I think I just need to crawl through the source, which I thought I would save time by trying to find an example, but probably may spend more time trying to do that. Try to go to file. Well, I'm not sure what file to go to. I mean, I'm in cross target. I can read the code on stream, trying to figure this out. So one thing cross target, there is from target that does look promising. There is. Let me think about this. Yeah, there is this function right here. But the question is now, how do I specify a target? Let's go into target. And it's just this long thing. All features list, like, because like so what I want, right? Actually, so let me remind myself what I want here. What is the target I actually want? Target that I want is the target that I want is x86 64 freestanding GNU. This is what I want. So the question is how. So all right. So OS is tag and version range. So tag is freestanding. Version range. What is version range? Like I almost feel like I feel I'm missing something because I feel I shouldn't have to read all this, but maybe I'm default. Okay, so we get the default version range. Okay, good. All right, so we get. All right, so let me try and remember because it's like kind of 3 or 4 levels of indirection. So we have standard target options. This is standard target options, which takes a cross target or a default. What's called default target, right? And then default target takes all right, so this is sorry, losing my train of thought here. So this, yeah, default target, and default target will be a cross target, and cross target is standard dot where am I? Standard dot cross target dot from target and then this takes a regular target. So from target takes a regular target, and so regular target right, okay, and so this is a regular target. This is a regular target struct, and so the regular target struct has 3 fields: a CPU, and so it's like hard to keep track of this. CPU is equal to const CPU. Alright, and then CPU has 3 fields. Are there any helper functions for this? What do you mean by can you search in this file? Search in this file for what exactly? Maybe I'm missing something. because I'm like going at least 4 or 5 levels down here. And so what again? So we're trying to find the CPU, right? So CPU here is x86 64. So all right, we're in target again. All right, so we're in target. CPU has an arch, and so arch is an enum, thankfully. So .cpu is .arch is equal to x86 64. And then no worries. Okay. Default target. What am I doing again? All right, so we have an arch. Right. All right. So model. What is model? Probably want. Oh. There is a 2 CPU. So we want standard. Where are we? Standard dot target dot. Where are we? There's a lot here. Const CPU. All right, so where are we inside? Are we inside target? I assume we're inside target. I hope. Okay, standard dot target dot CPU. Oh, CPU dot to elf machine. Well, maybe this is something I need to look at. Not sure. But to cough machine, we want generic. So I think it's also dot model. Dot to CPU. And so this takes in a model. And so what is a model? Let's do, okay, so then now I feel that there has to be something easier than this. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, it is complicated. It is a complicated system. I mean, there are 1,000 different combinations, probably more than 1,000 combinations you can have. But I don't know. Like I'm not sure. Like there's a lot of levels here. You just drop your freestand. What do you mean by that? Like, so I need to specify target triple, which is the CPU, the operating system, and the ABI. And so in this case, it's AMD 64 or x86 64, same thing. x86 64 for the CPU, freestanding for the operating system, and then GNU for the you know what? Maybe there is a parse triple. Is there a parse triple? Maybe I think you got me going here. Maybe there is a parse triple thing here. That would be nice. Like if I could just specify like this. Like if I could just pass in that string, that would be awesome. Or a comma separated list like this. I should really find some examples here. I think I'm gonna keep going back and forth. So Zig projects, GitHub. Awesome Zig. Oh, cool. Oh, so somebody actually compiled some stuff. So let's see. Chip 8 emulator written in Zig 3 years ago. Embedded. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Embedded example. Try this. 2019. It's a little bit too new. I think a little bit too old. Oh, there's a build.zig. Oh. I mean, this is a lot easier if this is the case. Const built-in. It's built in a... Is it standard built-in? Or maybe they changed that. I'm gonna look for something a little bit newer. Let's take a look here. B.option. Yeah, I knew I was doing something wrong. So this is from still 2019. Let me go back to the other one. Yeah, I think this is a decent one. Let's take a look to see if built-in standard built-in. Here we go. Anyway, here we go. Oh, standard.target.os. Yeah, you see, this is new. This was changed. Or like, because there's no helper functions. But that's fine. I don't care about that. What I care about now is the architecture. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to find that. So I care about the architecture here. So here's built-in Arch. Built-in Arch, use standard. Use standard.target.cpu.arch. Maybe I'm doing it the right way. Target, but it's not an Arch; it's a CPU. That's the thing. CPU makes it encompasses an Arch or an arc. Because the CPU is an arc, a model, and a feature set. Maybe there is no real way to do it now since they separate everything else out. I mean, it makes sense to make this more modular, I guess, but it's kind of hard to use it. I really do feel I'm missing something here. Let's see, Zen 3 years ago. Yeah, no, I do agree. I just don't know. I'm sure they had. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like modular is okay, depending on how the modules are implemented, how putting them together works. But I feel there has to be some sort of helper function or something that I'm missing. Like a parse triple or something like that. Like, that would be great. Like, if I could just specify the triple. Wait, is this it? No. Like, I want this, but the opposite of that. Triple. Linux triple simple. Object format simple. Like, they have it one way, but I just want it the other way. They have to have it the other way. Target.current. Unfortunately, I don't know how much longer I can really stay on this. I probably have to sign off soon. I'll just do this offline. Probably should have, yeah. I was hoping to do this on stream. Linux triple simple. Well, you have to have these first. I want these from like some string or something. I don't know. Let's give it 5 more minutes, and then if I can't find anything, then I think I just need to research this offline. Because it shouldn't be this hard. I mean, it shouldn't be like this. There has to be a simple helper. Oh. Is this kind of, I guess this is the ongoing thing for this? Or no, a config is something different? Yeah. Help with basic build.zig. Yeah, because they're using standard release options, that's fine. But build system, I don't know how outdated this is. Cross compilation. Yeah, no, this is old. This is an old one. I think. Oh wait. Oh wait. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to call it here. I'll look this up offline. I'm sure there's something here. Or maybe it's just this and I'm kind of just, you know, maybe what I'm looking for hasn't been implemented yet. Not sure. Yeah. So yeah, thanks guys for stopping by. I'll try and get this running offline so we can continue with rank 3 stuff the next stream. Thanks guys. Hopefully we'll be streaming some this weekend. Should be streaming this weekend. Have a good day.